I don't know if I can listen to...
I bet 1% of the audience population of this show has done a Pony Club type.
Send that 64046.
Yeah, I reckon
64046. Send it, but 1%. That would probably mean 1%. That would be
one person.
A person.
9 people. 9 people.
9 people. Yeah, that's 1%. Well, you think we've got 900 people listening?
No, 9,000.
Everyone who's listening, send us a text message now! Hooray! Everyone go nuts! Go nuts in the street, I tell you! Society's crumbling. Let's listen to this new Young Pony Club and see if there's any information or evidence in the song to suggest that what Trevor Lott's saying is true.
There won't be. It's like listening to the Beatles and hoping to find, you know, something to do with a beetle in it.
Is it?
Yeah, that's exactly the mistake you've made.
It's
exactly
not
that.
Well, actually, I listened to a Beatles song once, and it went, pinch me, stag beetles, on sports day, lots of stag beetles everywhere, crunched one, one got on my thumb, I had to go flick, get him off. So that was my favourite Beatles song ever. Let's listen to this song that Trevor uses to support himself through lonely, lonely nights. This is Russell Brand on 6 Music. Oh, yeah, Trevor, there was definitely an air of, sort of sexual mind games.
That's like,
yeah, it's a sleazy little song, isn't it?
The Scissor Sisters.
Yeah, I can give you one.
No, Scissor Sisters means
oh, right, lesbians
sexual
doing that thing.
Oh, dear.
It does mean that, Trevor. Something wrong with that. Trevor, don't just recoil from lesbianism because you're so prejudiced.
Oh,
why
dear. No, that's not right.
As a man who pretends to be a lesbian, you should be a little more supportive. You pretend to be a lesbian on MySpace because it tricks people. Here's a message from Jane in Maidstone. I used to be a zookeeper and once had to hide a dead penguin under my coat to avoid distressing small children. I wasn't even at work that day. Oh, Jane! How did the penguin die? What were you doing with it?
You've added that bit, haven't you?
I added the last bit.
That's a nice little image, isn't it?
Yeah, of like a woman sort of holding a dead penguin under a coat. But I wonder what it smelled like, I wonder what it felt like. Because when you feel the body of a dead animal, Trev, you'll know about this. Oh, you can feel all their ribs and all their organs.
We've done a lot of stuff with dead animals, haven't we?
A lot of stuff with dead rats that me and Matt used to be.
You can feel their rib cage, you can feel their spine, it's horrible.
Because the only element that's gone is that magical spark of life. It makes you question what death really is. Go on, Trev, say something profound.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna start with this. What if, when this is all done one way, it all comes the other way?
Yeah, what do you mean?
What the hell does that mean?
It means, like, when we've done this cycle of life, what happens if it all starts going backwards?
Well, we live life again backwards, starting from death, going towards birth. It wouldn't make any difference if you didn't have a cross-referential point.
Why would that happen?
Because it could happen, couldn't it? Why shouldn't it happen?
How would it happen? You wouldn't know that it was going backwards.
It wouldn't matter, though, Matt, would it? It wouldn't matter, because, like, this could be that backwards. It would be irrelevant.
Yeah.
It would be irrelevant.
Yeah, but it'd be quite
interesting. There is no objective quality to infancy that makes it necessarily formative.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is death and birth are the same thing. You're saying, where did that magic spark go?
Except when you die, you don't disappear into someone's womb, and if you do...
But where
shame on you, mister!
But where did you come from, you know? Where the same...
Over there, Essex, Grace! Where'd you come from?
The same problem,
Grandad? Yeah, Grandad's a big old boffin!
It's the same problem.
What's the same problem?
Where you came from and where you're going.
Why? What's the problem? I like it.
Well, the problem you just said
nice
is it's
to be
all
born
dead,
excited.
Where's that magic spark of life gone? Where's it come from in the first place?
Interesting. Well, I suppose it's evident and prevalent in all things, ain't it, Trev?
Well, that thing that you find in your hanky doesn't have it, does it?
What, my dinkle?
Yes.
Why's that in a hanky?
Because it's playing ghosties! There's a little spooky ghost, red ghost.
At what point does that spark of life get, you know, in the baby?
Trevor, hopefully never, you dirty devil. Here's a letter here from Matt in Tipton.
It's electricity, isn't it?
It's a form of energy. It's essentially, it's a form of electricity.
It's electromagnetic pulses.
It's like the Green Cross Code, man, Trev. It's basically that guy.
Okay, thanks.
Now, a mate of mine works in a pork processing plant in the Black Country. His job is to load pig carcasses. What's the problem?
Sounds like a really rude thing to say.
My mate of mine works... I'm going to read that again, and we can all work out just where Trevor's mind is. A mate of mine works in a pork processing plant in the Black Country. What's the bit that's making him laugh?
In the Black Country.
In the Black Country, it's a part of the Midlands, Trev.
I find it funny.
What do you think it is,
I like
then?
the plosive peas.
Someone's bottom, you like
processing.
Pork processing. I'd like a pork processing plant, please. Yeah. Hey, Polly, give us a kiss on my pork processing plant.
Come on, get on with it.
His job, this fella, is to load...
Killing pigs.
Of course.
Is it?
To a point. Yeah. His job is to load... Matt, don't just shout killing pigs out of the world. His job is to load pig carcasses into a massive spinning blade machine which shaves the hair off their porky skin. Oh. He then has to burn any remaining hair off with a blowtorch. They're currently recruiting, if you fancy it, Trev, it says, from Matt in Tipton. I wouldn't like to shave pigs for a job, would you?
Wouldn't mind.
Matthew.
I've done some pretty bad jobs.
Oh, look at Matt. What a crap segue. Russ,
Well, you haven't
Matt,
asked me about my
and
jobs because
it's-
you're challenged by the fact that I've done hardcore jobs.
No, I'm not. I was just thinking it's like,
Because you were
oh,
a
I'm going to
postman
make
for about a
people.
day.
I'm going to make people think this about me. I'm going to say I've done a job where I was a trained killer.
You haven't done hardcore jobs. You once babysat for somebody.
No, I've done a building.
Look at him trying to create a certain impression of himself.
Door-to-door carpet cleaning salesman.
One week it's, I've got a fine art degree. Next day is, I used to kill people on an estate.
Why do you keep saying
I
kill
worked
people?
for a gypsy. I worked for a gypsy throwing coins across a lake. It was the only work we could get.
What drivel you come out with?
This is a letter from Tim. He goes, I agree with Matt. When I was a lad, I had a paper round and I only got paid $7.50 a week, as well as doing 6 days a week. But one Christmas, my boss, who can only be described as Mr. Scrooge, told me to put leaflets in every paper I had to deliver, telling of how hard we work and how we work for all weather and how we are always on time. When truthfully, I did all that, and he just sat reading magazines about pretty ladies with a fear of clothes. To rub salt in the wound, this pay rise was an incredible 10 extra p a week. I thought it was cool. When me and my mate sought revenge and left all the papers soaking in a big puddle until we got sacked. Never mind, eh, Tim?
The leaflets.
Fight the power.
You used to get more if you had to put leaflets into the papers. The thing is with those paper rounds, everyone realised it in the end. You didn't have to deliver them because they never
Just throw them.
checked.
How would
Throw
anyone
them
know?
away,
No
get
one
the
wants
money.
those
Well, I think
papers.
the people
Make it
who
work
didn't
for
get
4
their
weeks.
newspapers would know, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but they don't care.
But
They
free
don't care.
free
Oh, the
newspaper
free
they don't even
newspaper.
want.
Oh, it's a relief, isn't it?
So it's an actual relief, thank God.
When you get the job, they say we're going to phone around and make sure that people
They're
get them,
not
but they
that
never
time.
do.
They might do a few random calls for the first week, but it soon dies off. I used to deliver these leaflets to raise money for a hospital, and I used to nickel the money.
You're such a good guy. What?
I used to nickel the money.
Such a bad
Oh
guy.
God.
Yeah, I'm a bad guy. Say hello to the bad guy. Yeah, come on in, Matt. Tell us about one of your jobs. See if you can make it plausible.
Once I was a builder's labourer.
Oh, great.
Pretty-
Well, thanks very
tough
much.
work.
We'll be back after the news. Go on, what happened? What happened with that
I've
job?
seen you on a building site once for a
Good it was.
comedic video thing for a TV show.
I did well on that site.
You didn't.
I looked like John Inman, didn't I? I was in a plank.
Pathetic. Couldn't hold a plank. Dropped a load of concrete.
Oh, it's hard
He
work.
responds if he's around extra masculine men. He responds by camping up. I don't
did.
know why.
I
What
saw that,
response is.
VT. He tried to get off with one of them, didn't he?
You go, oh, hello, boys.
Are you married by any chance, lads? Oh, hello.
Yeah, there's that
Do you want me to help
moment.
mixing that muck? I'm only messing. Do you want me to put a bit of sand in your pipes?
It was terrible, wasn't it?
It's alright. It's nice to do that.
But anyway, I
Exciting
was,
to
I
be
was
a
ever so
builder.
butch when I did it. Well, I used to clean bricks.
Yeah, like
and
all
that.
butch people, you use the word butch.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to work like that and just tap things. Yeah.
Trevor, what did you used to tap?
I worked for
the
Bob.
delicate skulls
I
of
used to
Italian
go
girls.
out with Bob the Builder.
But was
Not
he called?
go out with him. I used to go out on jobs with him.
No wonder he always looks so cheesed off on that programme. His sex life includes something called ponying, where he gets Trevor Lock riding around on his back, searching desperately for an orifice. Horrible little man you are.
Oh,
We will fix it, we will fix it. It's going to take a lot of therapy, Bob, to recover from that nightmare, let me tell you. So, okay, right, so go on. Are you going to say something about this labouring site, or is it simply to authenticate your accent?
no, it was, oh man, oh you. It was very difficult. I had to mix up concrete. I had to roll cigarettes for the bloke. He was the brother-in-law of the girl I was going out with.
Yeah.
And I think I used to get 20 quid a day, which was pretty good then.
Good in them days.
Compared to $7.50 a week.
It's a big step up the
That's
ladder.
nepotism, then. That's how you got the job.
Yeah, but he was doing me a favour because I could never afford to take her anywhere. No, he was really nice. Once I had to look after his twins, and that's the beginning of a hilarious story.
Well, after this next track, we are going to listen to what can only be described as a dull anecdote. No, it'll be very good. So we'll listen to that. We'll talk about other people's jobs. Send us your
Stop
job.
rattling your
We've
belt.
got the Sonic Enigma. Oh, sorry for rattling my
Why
belt.
have you undone your belt?
Because the-
Why would a man do that in a studio?
Because the prong went all bent and the belt come undone.
Well,
so I had to
that's a
bend the
metaphor
prong back
for something,
straight.
isn't it? A bent
Not everything's a
prong round
metaphor
your
for something,
midriff.
Trevor. Not everything's a metaphor. I'll tell you another thing we'll talk about. I'll tell you about Master Sue, who came on my TV, a Thai TV
Came
show.
on my TV.
He come on my TV. I live inside the little box, right, and I have to tell people things about Big Brother. Right, Master Sue came on the show. I'll tell you some stuff about him. That's well interesting. But first, shall we listen to a record? It'll be Denis, I really like you a lot. Denis, I find you attractive and that. Denis, should we have a crack at a relationship? Oh, go on.
Oh, we don't need to listen to it now, surely.
Well, I've given you the essence.
It's beautiful.
Nice, isn't it? Blondie with Denny, listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. I mean, I think pretty much I captured the essence of the song with my prelude.
I remember when Russell suggested that song on the phone the other day. I want Denny by Blondie. He thought it was D-E-N-N-Y, like Denny, some geezer who runs a cafe.
Well, it can't be a girl, can it?
It can be a girl.
Actually, I thought it was Dennis, and she just sang it like that rhythmically.
The original song was sung by a man, and it's called Denise. And they changed it to Denis, the French pronunciation of Dennis.
I thought it was Dennis. Should be Dennis.
You thought it was Denny?
I thought it was Dennis. I've been ponying about all morning with Julie in the hot blazing Aberdeen sun. She's ginger but quite sturdy, says Lee.
So there you are. That's one of the 1% coming out.
One of the 1%. They're all coming to the surface now, Driver. Hi, Russell, Matt and Cocky. Absolutely loving the show. I once worked for a toy store in Lakeside, your manor, Russell, and had to dress up as a 7-foot bear to entertain the kids. Well, it's weird, isn't it, 7-foot bear? I mean, that's just necessary because you couldn't dress up as a 2-foot bear because how would you do it? You'd have to get someone really tiny. The suit was like an oven and you couldn't see after a while because the eyes would steam up as you breathed. You couldn't last more than 20 minutes, and the worst part was mothers with prams ganging up on you to play with their children and trapping you so you couldn't get away. The occasional punch in the unmentionables from horrible kids wasn't too much fun either. Jay from Essex. Jay, I'm sorry that you were punched in your unmentionables.
When I was a little boy, there was a robot that was just on wheels.
Yeah.
Right? And I was about, I don't know, 5 or something, and my mum said, go and go and say hello to the robot. It was like a cheap rip-off of R2-D2 without being part, you know what I mean? It was
there a person in it?
No, but there was a speaker on it and there was a bloke talking.
Operating it, yeah.
And my mum had obviously gone to this bloke and said, oh, my little boy's name is Matthew, right?
Yeah.
So I walked up to this robot and he went, hello, Matthew, like that. And for about, well, it changed my life.
Why?
Because I couldn't believe this thing knew who I was.
My God, have we met? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man.
Maybe I've met you in the Dagobah system.
Interesting that our paths should cross again. Do you have information for me? Am I your only hope? Yeah, I liked it when you was a child and you had to dress up as Paddington.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
You look funny. I look at that picture of you sometimes because as a child's costume, there's a picture of Matthew dressed up. You can look at his MySpace page if you want. Right, he's dressed up as Paddington, and he's completely consumed by the costume, aren't you?
Absolutely unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, I was
It
consumed by
smothers you.
Yeah.
my nan and my mum's lust to win a competition, which overrode
Lust.
any sort of maternal care.
Absolutely.
Right, we're going to win the competition. I can't breathe. Shut up. You look great. He looks great. Let's get him out there.
The thing is, I had a little hole that was smaller than a fruit pastel. Right?
Did you know that because you tried to eat one?
Well, I was offered one. Oh, look, fruit pastel's going round. I wasn't allowed to take my mask off in case I shattered the illusion I wasn't Paddington Bear.
Hold on, who's this little un-Paddington? Kill him! Kill the un-Paddington! He misled us!
And they went, oh, look, he can't eat the sweets through the hole. Look, he
Well,
can't
they
even
enjoyed
eat them.
it.
Yeah, and then they
It's no wonder
showed
you're
other
like you
people
are.
it, and then...
But then what, they like as if it was a trick. Look at Matt, he can't
can't
get
eat him. Oh, look, he can't get him.
Were you in
And
there all
that's it.
snuffling and crying?
I think I wet myself in there.
You always wet yourself. This is why you can't go to the toilet, and it's under the strictest conditions. And then bizarrely, one day, he decides to wipe his bum on an aeroplane. Goes from one extreme to the other.
Right.
He goes from
Right.
Kenneth Williams to Bobby Sands in a 5-minute period.
Russell,
Unbelievable.
Russell, shut up. What about this morning when I went round your house and I was going, come on, hurry up, come on up. This is disgusting. He's standing there, cleaning his teeth at the sink, weeing in the sink at the same time. He goes, turns around at me with all toothpaste around his face. Look, multitasking.
Saves time.
So that,
And I didn't even bother to turn the tap on to rinse my toothbrush either. I just went, well, good for the goose is good for the gander. Wanna try? And I weed all over it. I didn't really. So what? It's only wee, isn't it? Wee's nice. Everyone makes a fuss about wee, but Madonna puts it on herself in the shower, so I once read. I don't think there's nothing wrong with wee. I like it.
Well done.
Don't drink the stuff or anything, but there's no point worrying about where it's going. Much worse, I think, to wipe your bum on an aeroplane in
Look,
full
basically,
view of the public.
we're both disgusting.
You're picking your nose even now, Matthew.
Scratching the inside of my nose.
Right, okay, oh yeah, sorry. I do apologise, but you can see how confusion might occur. Hi, says David from Twickenham. I thought he was called David Twickenham. I used to work in a gift shop at Westminster Abbey. A surprising number of American tourists didn't know what tea towels were. I like that. Why are you telling us this? A surprising number of American tourists didn't know what tea towels were. I told them, but because of rationing during the war, people didn't have enough fabric for full-size tablecloths, so they used tea towels instead. That's not true, I assume. But why?
Of course it's not, he's joking.
But that's a weird lie.
No, it's not.
But why tell? It's not like I would have said. Oh, tea towels. They're for mopping up. Like a lot of English people during the war, we ate octopuses, and we used to always had to be wrapped up in a tea towel to comfort them to create a womb-like
So
environment.
you've gone too far. They're not going to believe that.
They might. They might. One of them bought the Tower of London off